Frank Seravalli just tweeted,
Yep.
Gary Bettman said we'll have an announcement on the Yotes future in a few weeks. Sources say it could come as soon as this weekend.
What's this weekend? Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What's on the table? 3 options. Sources tell Daily Faceoff the options, of course.
Yeah, they're the 3 options we talked about, right?
Find a site and put shovels in the ground, sell the team but stay in Arizona, or relocate to Salt Lake City.
Yeah, those of you who saw my newsletter go out probably read a bunch of this stuff already. I do think that there are other interested buyers that are at least willing to have a conversation with the NHL if the Meruelo Group cannot close this deal. So I don't want to say this is an ultimatum, but I do think that the league is going to come out a little stronger with its demands and proof that the Meruelo Group can get this done. But I think go ahead.
I think it's clear. It's something I want to make sure that's clear. When you said an ultimatum, this is an ultimatum on the Coyotes leaving Arizona. This is an ultimatum to the Meruelo Group to get moving on their proposed plans.
Yeah, or we need to be able to move on to Plan B, which we keep saying, even though others are saying it's relocation. Plan B is not relocation.
Right.
Plan B is trying to find another local owner. Relocation is the last resort, as Gary Bettman has said on the record. It is in the past. He's always said this. That's the last ditch thing that you want to do when you run out of all options locally. I do think there are other groups that are interested. I'm not saying we're even going to get to that point. I'm not saying the Meruelo Group isn't going to close this deal. If he isn't able to close it, I'm not saying that these other groups are going to be able to purchase the team. I'm just letting people know sort of the order of things, right? Okay, if Alex gets it done, fine, we stop right there. If he can't, then you move on to these other groups and explore all those possibilities. When all of those are exhausted, that's when you get to relocation and not before.
And I think a key point in that is when the Atlanta Thrashers moved to Winnipeg with the Jets, they could not find a local buyer to keep that team in the Atlanta area. And that's why they ultimately moved to Winnipeg, where there was a group willing to buy the team. And I think that that's because of the letter that was sent out by the Smith Group a week ago. I think people are all jumping to conclusions that, oh my gosh, the same thing's going to happen in Winnipeg. The difference there was no local buyers to keep the team in Atlanta. And if there were, they would have more than likely been able to stay and keep the team in Atlanta. There just weren't that local ownership group. There are rumored to be more than one of those groups involved and interested in looking at this team. So that doesn't mean it's staying, but it clearly doesn't mean it's going.